Alright guys, let's talk about the Heisman Trophy. Like I said in my last video, we are now into October, which means it is time for us to make some actually scientific predictions about what we're going to look at going forward. So first things first, let's talk about who I think is probably the favorite right now, Tua Tagovailoa at Alabama. Certainly very impressive. I do not want to take anything away from Tua and what he's managed to do. He's not only doing what he's doing on the field, but also initially was dealing with the backlash of the whole Jalen Hurts controversy and who's the best. Very impressed with what he's done. 49 points in the first half this last weekend against Louisiana. Awesome. Everything he's done is phenomenal. Not taking anything away from him. But when I think of the Heisman Trophy, I wonder if you took any quarterback of the top quarterbacks right now in college football, whether it be Tua Tagovailoa or Will Grier at West Virginia or Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State, and plug them into that Ohio State offense with the running backs that they have and those wide receivers, do we see the same thing? And I have to say yes. And for that reason, Tua Tagovailoa is not my Heisman Trophy pick. Second guy, Will Grier. Certainly very, very, very impressive. Probably right now, if we had to make the pick today, I would say Grier is the guy. However, we are going to learn a lot more about Grier going forward. I was very much disappointed when the game against NC State was canceled. I thought that would have been a great opportunity for Grier and the rest of the Mountaineers team to show us what they could do against another possible Heisman Trophy candidate in NC State's Ryan Finley. I think that hurts him. However, he did manage to dice Tennessee's defense up real good the first weekend of the season. They are playing an 11-game season against Power 5 opponents, which certainly should be rewarded, and we'll see what happens from here. Also, we're going to find a lot about this West Virginia team going forward, and I wonder if the Mountaineers lose on the last Friday of the season to Oklahoma, as well as lose in Texas against a renewed Longhorns team, whether he'll still be in contention. So that's why he's out for me, or at least a question mark right now. Number 3, Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State. Certainly very, very impressive. Came from nowhere. First, he beats out Joe Burrow, who was JT Barrett's backup for 2 years at Ohio State. Then he goes in and he makes this offense flourish without head coach Urban Meyer. Had a huge win this past weekend over Penn State in Happy Valley. Certainly will not take anything away from that young man. But similar to Tua, I have to wonder, if you took away the wide receivers and if you took away the running backs, would anyone else be able to do the same thing? And I think the answer is yes. And for that reason, Dwayne Haskins is not my Heisman Trophy pick. Next guy we want to talk about, Ed Oliver, Houston. Oliver was making his way up the polls, especially as a defensive tackle, a defensive player. Very hard thing to do to win a Heisman. Last guy to do it, Archie Griffin. Now, with that being said, last guy to do it was Charles Woodson at Michigan. However, Woodson, like I said early on, also played special teams as well as contributed on offense occasionally. Oliver's looking to do it solely as a full-time defensive player, and he was on his way until the Cougars got ultimately just trampled by Texas Tech for over 600 yards of offense, so he's out. That gets me then to my pick for Heisman Trophy right now, and that is Benny Snell. And I'm saying this even with wearing a Kentucky Wildcats polo right now. Benny Snell has been phenomenal in what he's been able to do. He gashed Florida's defense. He gashed Mississippi State's defense. And this weekend he had 99 yards against a very good South Carolina team, a team that many people were picking to win the SEC East going into the season. We're going to learn a lot about Benny Snell and his candidacy this Saturday when the Wildcats travel to College Station to take on a very good and rejuvenated Texas A&M team. But what also impresses me about Snell is not only that he's been able to put up the numbers he's been able to put up, he broke Randall Cobb's touchdown record at Kentucky earlier this season, but he's doing it with the least amount of help. As good as Terry Wilson has looked, he is effectively a game manager. He's also a guy who will look to run first rather than pass it. And for Benny Snell to still be able to do what he's doing with opposing defenses, stacking 8, 9, sometimes even 10 guys in the box, that to me says this is your Heisman Trophy pick. And furthermore, he's taking a program in Kentucky, which no one had on its preseason radar, who's looking like a legitimate SEC East contender. And for a guy who's doing so much with so little, that to me says you're a Heisman Trophy winner. And that's why I have Benny Snell as the Heisman candidate and Heisman Trophy winner right now. but we're going to learn a lot going forward. Like I said, we'll have some very interesting announcements to make after this weekend's game. Certainly a lot to look forward to, and we'll keep it going from there. So let me know what you guys think. Who's your Heisman Trophy pick right now? Talk to you soon. Bye.